Hey everyone, today we're going to learn how to factor large things by grouping them. So let's get started. Alright, so I'm told to factor
Did you turn that one
by
in?
grouping.
Did you click turn in?
We use factor by
There's
grouping
day
when we
4.
have typically 4 pieces. Okay,
you
so
can
as we
copy
kind of
that
saw
or read it
before in
off.
another video, okay, of factoring trinomials using grouping method, first thing we're going to do is we're going to group this thing up. We're going to make a group around the first and second piece and third and fourth piece.
They must be Catholics because
Okay.
it's Friday. I always get fish.
So,
So
now what we're gonna do.
What your religion is, so that's probably why they give you fish.
So again, we're going to do our parentheses. Again, we're going to have GCF here. We're going to have GCF here. Okay, and then the parentheses of what we take out. So from this first group, I can take out x squared. So I'm going to take out x squared as a GCF, leaving me x plus 3. Now, here's the thing. For the second parenthesis, we need these parentheses to match. So in order to do that, again, we have to take GCF out of the second parenthesis, but this parenthesis, when we do that, has to look like this. Kind of a trick I teach my students is, if you're not really sure, take this piece right here and divide it by this piece right here. Okay, so negative 3 divided by positive 3 is negative 1, and that answer goes here.
So is this what you wrote?
So in doing so, negative 1 x divided by negative 1 is positive x. Negative 3 divided by negative 1 is positive 3. So we have it look like this. Now our next step, okay, is we got to put this together. Now how I teach my students is technically, mathematically, this is what we're doing. We're taking the GCF out of this humongous grouping here, okay? Now, how I would suggest we do this is, the first parenthesis is what we had in these parentheses. So the first parenthesis is what we lead off with. Now again, it is not going to be x plus 3 squared. Yes, I know there's 2 of them, but technically, like I said, we're taking this out as a GCF. So that means the greatest common factor of this whole sentence was the x plus 3. Or in English, it's just easier to say the first parenthesis is just what was in the parenthesis. So now we can get rid of that. Now at this point, now we're going to have all the garbage left over go in the second parenthesis. So we're going to have x squared and minus 1. Now, kind of a factoring rule is anytime we have parentheses with exponents in them, so like this one, we need to double check to make sure we can't factor this any further. And x squared minus 1, x squared is a perfect square, 1's a perfect square, and we have the minus sign. That means we have difference of squares. So we need to factor this again. So we can have x plus 3. Couldn't do much with that. Now to do difference of squares, remember, perfect square of x squared is, or square root of x squared is x and x. We're going to have 1 and 1 because the square root of 1 is 1. Now we're going to have we alternate our signs. And then I look, do I have any exponents in any of these parentheses now? The answer is no. So that's our factored group. All right, so let's take a look at another one. All right, so now looking at this one, now this is really good one. You guys will like this. Because of the fact that if we're looking at this, they already took the first step for us. They already grouped it up and they already did all the breakdown. So we already have our common pieces here. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to have our x plus 4. Okay. Then the second parentheses, all the garbage left over. So 2x, then minus 3. And because there's no exponents in the parentheses, you know you're done. Pretty simple, huh? It's easy when it looks like that. Let's move on. Whoops. All right. So a little bit more fun. Now I'm going to start this off. Okay. So let's group it up. First and second, third and fourth. All right. So let's try to take out line, parenthesis, line, parenthesis.
Can you make it darker?
So start out. Can I take GCF out of this first one? The answer is no.
Is that all you need?
So I'm going to put a 1 here. Can always take out a 1, leaving me 3xy minus 4. Now, then as I said for my trick, we're going to take the 2y and divide by negative 4. We get a half, which is going to get pretty ugly, but let's try it. So let's do negative 1/2. And that leaves me 3x, because negative 6 divided by, correction, erase that.
So you can
It's
just
not 3.
save button over here.
So negative 6 divided by by a half, that's going to be positive 12.
There it is.
So obviously we're not getting a match here. So, but don't think that we're done yet,
Help you.
because we're not.
Now we're learning, right? That
So,
you can save it.
let's
You
take a
don't
step
need to do
back.
as much work. Right?
Do. Let's undo all of that, all that fun work. Okay. Now, when something like this occurs, what I always suggest you do, let's
Today I want you to take
flip-flop
the organize
these
the
middle
colors.
pieces.
Next,
So we're going to have
we'll have
3xy
and
minus
something to work
6x
on
minus
writing.
4
The
plus
instructions will be on the
2y.
document below. Please turn it in when you are finished.
Okay. Now let's group it up.
And you already
Okay.
did.
Line, parenthesis, line,
Now we go
parenthesis.
to favorite.
All right, so for this first parenthesis, what can I take? I can take a 3x, leaving me y minus 2. Now be careful here. Realize these pieces in here are not in order.
Okay,
This should really read 2y minus 4.
do all the work that you
So
need
be
to do.
careful. So what common denominator can I take out of this? Would be a positive 2. Because negative 4 divided by negative 2 is positive 2.
They don't get it.
Leaving me y minus 2. All right, now we asked, do these parentheses now match? Yes, they do. So we're going to have y minus 2 as our lead piece. This goes away.
Do this.
Second parentheses, all the garbage left over. So you're going to have 3x
With your eyes, it looks like you
plus
don't.
I have
2.
no clue what that means.
This is your notes.
And there it is. Okay. So again, if it doesn't work, flip-flop the middle. If it doesn't work after that, typically it's probably not going to be factorable.
Use the formatting tool.
All right, let's continue.
Color, highlight, underline.
All right, so let's look at this one.
Identify the information from
All right, so let's start by grouping that up.
you get to the
First, second,
Hiker
third,
climbs
fourth.
900 feet up a mountain. The integer is
Okay. So here, common denominator of the first is going to be x. So I'm left with a minus b. Now, I have a minus b here. I need it to be a minus b. Common factor I can take out. Now, I don't want to change anything. So if I take negative b and divide it by negative b, I get positive 1. Again, remember, if I divide by 1, it doesn't do anything to the problem, which is what I don't want, which is what I do want to have happen, sorry, because these already match.
you
Okay.
have a debt of $24. The integer is
All right, so now let's break this down. Common factor, that's our lead piece, is our a minus b.
Did it say and its opposite?
Okay.
you have a debt of $24.
All the garbage left over.
And positive 24.
X plus 1. Any exponents in these parentheses I have to worry about? The answer is no. So guess what?
Oh,
So that would
We're
be
done.
negative 20.
That was easy. Okay, let's keep moving. All right, so let's start off. Start by grouping this up.
5 points for
First,
being late to
second,
class.
third, fourth.
negative 5.
Okay. All right, so let's start. Take GCF. What can I take from the first piece? I can take out an x, leaving y minus 1. Now here from the second parenthesis, okay, 2 divided by negative 1 is negative 2. So when I'm dividing this, negative 2y divided by negative 2 is y. Negative 2 divided by negative 2 is positive 1. Or negative 1, I'm sorry. I screwed that up. Eraser. It's negative 1. All right, so now, do we have a match here? Yes, we do. So this is going to become our lead parenthesis here. So y minus 1.
How do you graph a point on a number
Okay.
line?
You just take
Now all the garbage left over.
drag it.
X minus 2.
It's a question.
Now at this point, let's see any exponents in this parenthesis. New.
On a number line.
Any exponents in this parenthesis? Nope. So we're done. All right, let's take a look at this one. All right, so start by grouping it up. First, second, third, fourth, line, parenthesis, line, parenthesis.
How is the graph of plus
All right, start.
3
What can I
similar
take from
to
this first
negative
grouping?
3?
Well, I can take an x,
The question again?
so kick out
How
x,
is the graph
y
of
minus
plus
3.
similar to negative 3?
Now,
It's both.
what can I take from this parenthesis? And again, you can either see it, or if you're not sure, take negative 6 divided by negative 3, and we get positive 2. So 2y divided by 2 is y. Negative 6 divided by 2 is negative 3. So now, let's take a look. Do these parentheses match? The answer is yes. Y minus 3 leads us off. Whoops, hey, stay there. Okay, second parenthesis, all the garbage left over. X plus 2. X plus 2.
A whole number. And
All right, let's look at the parentheses. Can I take, are there any exponents in here? Nope. Any exponents in here? Nope. Therefore,
Positive 3
this is all we can do to this.
whole
All right?
number
All right. So that's the end of this video. Again, short and sweet. Again,
3.
make sure you are double checking your parentheses. Make sure there's no exponents inside. Oops. Other than that, I will see you in the next video.